Jessica Smith was inside the court today. She joins us live now. And Jessica, did you get any idea of which way the court might be leaning on this?
Well, the court really seemed pretty split. Some of the more liberal-leaning justices were very tough on the state, asking them why they would make it harder for people to vote, while the more conservative justices were really focused on the importance of keeping those voter rolls updated to prevent voter fraud. And outside of court, the protests were primarily against the state.
I was wrongfully purged.
On the steps of the Supreme Court, Joe Helley confronted Ohio Secretary of State John Husted.
I never received that.
Helley is an Ohio veteran who served in Iraq and Afghanistan. When he got home, he went to vote but found his name was kicked off the voter rolls. In Ohio, if someone does not vote for 2 years, then doesn't respond to a mailed notice from the state or vote in the next 4 years, they're purged from the rolls.
I didn't receive a notice in the mail. My home of record didn't receive a notice in the mail, and I voted absentee from Iraq.
Paul Smith, the attorney challenging Ohio, told the Supreme Court situations like Helley's happen far too often.
What Ohio does is it says if you don't vote, we're going to presume you move to a different county or state, which makes no sense.
One of the key points of debate in this case is that notice the state sends out. The challengers argue the notice means nothing because 70% of people just throw it away and don't respond. But the state argues that notice is key.
It absolutely tells us what we need to know to fulfill the legal obligation that we have to keep the voter rolls up to date.
Husted argues because Ohio sends a notice, they're not striking people from the rolls solely for not voting. In court, Justice Alito seemed to agree, asking how else states could keep the rolls up to date. But Justice Sotomayor pressed the state, saying it seems unreasonable to use failure to vote as evidence a person has moved. As the court deliberates, Helley says he wants veterans to be aware their right to vote is at risk.
If you're in Ohio, your state doesn't care about you.
During the arguments, some of the justices and the challenging attorney brought up that there could be better ways to find out if people have moved, like BMV or postal records, but the state said that information would be insufficient. We do expect the court to make a decision by late June. Live in Washington, Jessica Smith, NBC4.